You have two minds, not in a metaphorical sense, not as a figure of speech. Literally, functionally, two distinct mental operations happening inside you simultaneously at every moment of every day. One of them you know well. It is the mind that reads these words right now. The mind that reasons and analyzes and plans and makes conscious decisions. The mind that has read the books, run the numbers, made the budgets, and developed the strategies. The other one you barely know at all. And yet, it is the one running your financial life. It is the subconscious mind. And it is not a passive storage unit sitting quietly in the background while your conscious mind does the real work. It is active. It is powerful. It is creative in ways the conscious mind cannot match. And it is operating right now beneath your awareness, executing a program about money and wealth and what is possible for you that was written before you were old enough to question it. That program is the reason your strategies have not worked the way they should. Not because the strategies were wrong, because the program running beneath them was contradicting them at every turn. You cannot outwork a subconscious program. You cannot outthink it. You cannot override it with logic or discipline or sheer force of will. The subconscious mind is not impressed by your plans. It does not respond to effort. It responds to one thing and one thing only: what has been planted in it. And for most people, what has been planted in it about money is fear, lack, limitation, the inherited belief that wealth is for other people, that money is hard, that struggle is the price of survival. That is the program. And it has been running faithfully your entire life. Today, we change the program. Not by working harder, not by finding a better strategy, not by finally getting the circumstances right, by going directly to the source, by learning to speak the language of the subconscious mind, by planting new seeds so deeply and so consistently that the old program has no choice but to be replaced by the new one. That is what this video is about. And by the end of it, you will have everything you need to begin. Think of your mind as a garden. The conscious mind is the gardener. It walks the rows, makes decisions about what to plant, pulls weeds when it notices them, tends the surface of the soil with intention and care. The subconscious mind is the soil itself, deep, rich, extraordinarily fertile, indifferent to what is planted in it, incapable of refusing a seed, designed by nature to take whatever is given and grow it into physical reality with absolute faithfulness. The soil does not decide what deserves to grow. It does not evaluate the seed and decide whether it is worthy of becoming a plant. It simply grows what is planted, every time, without exception, without judgment. This is the nature of the subconscious mind. It does not reason. It does not argue. It does not say, "That seems unlikely," or "You do not deserve that," or be realistic. It takes the impressions given to it, the beliefs, the feelings, the repeated thoughts, the dominant emotional states, and it goes to work producing a physical reality that matches them. This is why two people with identical external circumstances can end up with completely different financial lives. One of them has a subconscious program that says, "Abundance is natural. Money flows to me. I am the kind of person wealth gravitates toward." The other has a program that says, "Money is scarce. I always end up back at zero. Wealth is not for someone like me." The outer world faithfully grows what each of them has planted, not because of luck, not because of favoritism, because of the law of the subconscious mind. You reap exactly what you sow. Every time, without exception. The question is not whether the law is working. It is always working. The question is what you have been planting. Let us be specific about the program currently running in your subconscious mind, because it is not mysterious. It is not hidden. If you look honestly at your financial life right now, you are looking directly at it. Your current financial reality is the printout of your current subconscious program. It is not the result of bad luck or bad timing or a bad economy. It is the harvest of what has been planted. So what was planted? For most people, it started in childhood. Before the age of 7, the subconscious mind is almost entirely open. There is no critical filter yet, no ability to evaluate what comes in and decide whether to accept it. Everything lands, everything plants. And what landed for most people was this. Money does not grow on trees. We cannot afford that. Rich people are greedy. Money is the root of all evil. You have to work yourself to the bone just to get by. Life is hard. Nothing comes easy. These were not lessons taught with malice. They were the honest expressions of people who were themselves running programs planted in them by their own parents and their own early experiences. They passed along what they had received, and you received it without the ability to refuse it. And then life added to it. The first time you wanted something and could not have it. The first time a financial setback hit and the adults around you responded with fear. The first time you heard the word expensive, said in a tone that meant, not for us. Layer by layer, the program built itself, until by the time you were old enough to make conscious financial decisions, the subconscious program running beneath those decisions was already fully formed, already executing, already producing a reality that matched what had been planted years before. That program is still running now. Every time you feel a knot in your stomach, when an unexpected bill arrives, that is the program. Every time you feel vaguely guilty spending money on yourself, that is the program. Every time an opportunity appears, and the first thought is, that will never work for me, that is the program. It is not you. It is what was planted in you. And what was planted can be uprooted, and new seeds can be planted in its place. That is exactly what we are going to do. Before I give you the specific tools for reprogramming, you need to understand one critical thing about how the subconscious mind receives new information. It does not respond to logic. This is the mistake most people make when they try to change their financial beliefs. They argue with themselves. They list reasons why they should feel more confident about money. They remind themselves of their skills and their education and their work ethic. They build a logical case for why wealth is possible for them. And nothing changes, because the subconscious mind does not speak the language of logic. It does not care about your reasons. It does not respond to evidence or argument or rational persuasion. It responds to feeling. Feeling is the language of the subconscious. Emotion is the ink with which new programs are written. A thought without feeling barely touches the surface of the subconscious mind. A thought charged with genuine, deeply felt emotion goes all the way to the roots. This is why repetition alone is not enough. You can repeat an affirmation 1,000 times in a flat, mechanical, going through the motions way and produce almost no change in the subconscious program. The words land on the surface and roll off. Nothing is planted. But the same affirmation, spoken or thought with genuine feeling, with the real emotional charge of someone who means it, who feels it, who is not just saying words, but inhabiting a state that plants deeply. That takes root. That begins the process of replacing the old program with the new one. So the tools I am about to give you are not about saying the right words. They are about feeling the right things, using the right words as a vehicle to generate the right feelings, and using those feelings to write a new program in the only language the subconscious understands. Now let us talk about the specific tools. The first and most powerful tool is what Joseph Murphy called the use of affirmations with feeling. An affirmation for the subconscious mind is not a positive statement you repeat until you believe it. It is a declaration of inner truth that you feel your way into until it becomes the dominant impression in the subconscious. Here is the difference. A surface affirmation sounds like this: I am wealthy. I have abundance. Money flows to me easily. Said flatly, said quickly, said while part of you is thinking this is ridiculous. I can see my bank account, and this is not true. That does not work. The feeling underneath contradicts the words. The subconscious receives the feeling, not the words, and the feeling is doubt. So doubt is what grows. A deep affirmation works differently. It begins with the same words, but it does not stop at the words. It moves into the feeling. It asks, what would it feel like if this were already true? And it stays in that question long enough to actually feel the answer. Try this right now. Say to yourself, slowly, with full attention, infinite wealth is flowing into my life right now. Now, instead of moving on, stay with it. Ask yourself what that would feel like in the body. Where would you feel it? What would ease? What would relax? What would open if that were genuinely true? Find that feeling, even a small version of it, even a faint echo of what it would feel like. That faint echo, held deliberately and returned to consistently, is the seed. Plant it enough times with enough genuine feeling, and the subconscious cannot ignore it. It will begin to reorganize your inner world around it. And your inner world, reorganized, will reorganize your outer world to match. This is the practice. This is the tool. Simple, precise, powerful beyond what most people can believe until they try it seriously. The most important window for subconscious reprogramming is the same one Neville Goddard identified from his own angle: the moments before sleep. Joseph Murphy was explicit about this. He said the last 5 to 10 minutes before you fall asleep are the most fertile period of the entire day for planting new impressions in the subconscious mind. Because in those moments, the conscious mind, the critical faculty that filters and evaluates and argues, begins to relax. Its grip loosens. The guard at the gate of the subconscious steps back, and what passes through in that unguarded state goes deep. Most people, in those final minutes before sleep, allow their mind to wander through the day's problems, the unpaid bill, the difficult conversation, the financial pressure that has not resolved. They carry all of it right to the edge of sleep and hand it directly to the subconscious mind as the last instruction of the day. And the subconscious, faithful as always, goes to work through the night building more of it. You are going to do something different. In the last 10 minutes before sleep, you are going to deliberately, consciously, intentionally plant a new program. Here is exactly how. As you lie in bed and feel the day beginning to release you, bring your attention to your breathing. Let it slow. Let the body soften. And when you feel that gentle loosening of the conscious mind, that slight drowsiness that signals the threshold is approaching, begin to speak to your subconscious directly. Not out loud necessarily, in the quiet of your mind, slowly, with feeling, with the genuine emotional charge of someone who means what they are saying. Infinite abundance is my natural state. Wealth flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. My subconscious mind is a powerful magnet for prosperity. Money comes to me easily and frequently. I am grateful for the wealth that is already mine and for the greater wealth that is on its way. Do not race through these. Say one. Feel it. Let it settle. Say the next. Feel that. Let it settle. And as sleep takes you, carry the feeling with you. Not the words, the feeling. The warm, easy, certain feeling of someone who knows, without needing evidence, that abundance is their natural condition. That feeling is the last instruction your subconscious receives before it goes to work through the night. Give it a good one. Now let us address the blocks, because reprogramming is not only about planting new seeds, it is also about identifying and removing the old ones that are actively working against you. There are 3 subconscious blocks about money that affect more people than any others. The first is the belief that money is somehow spiritually wrong. This one runs deeper than most people realize. It was planted by religious teaching, by cultural messaging, by the phrase "the love of money is the root of all evil," repeated so many times it became a subconscious axiom, and it created in millions of people a quiet, unexamined conflict. A part of them wants wealth. Another part of them believes wanting wealth makes them a bad person. That conflict does not produce wealth. It produces paralysis, sabotage, the pattern of getting close and then pulling back, of succeeding briefly and then finding a way to undo it. If this resonates, the reprogramming is specific. You must replace the belief that money is evil with the truth that money is neutral. It is energy. It amplifies what is already there. In the hands of a good person, it does good. Your desire for wealth is not greed. It is the natural expression of a mind that knows it has more to give, more to create, more to contribute, and understands that financial freedom is what makes that possible. The second block is the fear of success. This sounds paradoxical. Who is afraid of success? But it is more common than almost any other subconscious block, and it usually comes from a fear of what success would mean, the responsibility it would bring, the way it might change relationships, the possibility of losing it after having it, the fear of being seen, of being visible, of standing out from the people around you. The reprogramming for this one is to make peace with visibility, to tell the subconscious that success is safe, that you can handle the responsibility it brings, that the people who truly love you will celebrate your growth, that you are ready for what wealth requires of you. The third block is the most common of all. The simple, deeply planted belief that wealth is for other people, not said out loud, rarely even thought consciously, but felt in the slight disbelief when an opportunity appears, in the automatic assumption that it will not work out for you specifically, in the way your mind edits out possibilities before they even reach conscious consideration, because somewhere below the surface, it has already decided those possibilities are not available to you. The reprogramming is direct. Wealth is not for other people. It is for anyone whose subconscious mind is programmed to receive it. You are reprogramming yours right now. You are no longer the person who watches abundance flow toward others and wonders why it passes you by. You are the person who has gone to the root of the pattern and changed it permanently. What you consume mentally every day is what your subconscious grows. This is not about avoiding negativity in some vague, idealistic sense. It is about understanding that the subconscious mind takes its cues from the dominant input it receives. And the dominant input for most people is a steady diet of financial anxiety, scarcity messaging, and evidence that money is hard and life is a struggle. The news tells you the economy is uncertain. Social media shows you what you do not have. Conversations with friends and family circle endlessly around financial stress, and all of it, absorbed daily, without filtering, feeds the subconscious a consistent message. Lack, struggle, not enough. You must change the diet, not by pretending problems do not exist, but by deliberately, consciously choosing a significant portion of your daily mental input to reinforce the program you are building. Read about wealth. Not just strategies and tactics, though those have their place, but about the mindset and the consciousness of abundance. Read the stories of people who came from nothing and built everything, not to compare yourself to them, but to feed your subconscious the evidence that it is possible, that wealth is available, that the program can change, and the results can change with it. Spend time in your mind with wealthy thoughts every day, not daydreaming, deliberate, feeling-charged mental time in the state of abundance. Even 10 minutes a day of genuinely inhabiting the feeling of wealth, of prosperity, of financial freedom plants something in the subconscious that 1,000 hours of anxious strategizing cannot. Guard what you allow in, not obsessively, not fearfully, but consciously, with the understanding that your mind is a garden and you are responsible for what grows in it. When the subconscious program begins to shift, the outer world does not change all at once. It changes in small ways first, ways you might miss if you are not watching for them. A conversation with someone you would not normally have spoken to, an idea that appears fully formed in your mind while you are in the shower, an opportunity that surfaces through an unexpected channel, a door that opens that you did not knock on. These are the early signs of a reprogrammed subconscious beginning to produce new results. They are not coincidences. They are the outer world catching up to the inner world you have been building. Most people miss them. They are looking for the dramatic transformation, the sudden windfall, the one big break that changes everything overnight. And because the early signs are small and quiet and easily explained away as coincidence, they dismiss them. And in dismissing them, they stop feeding the new program with the belief and the feeling it needs to keep growing. Do not make that mistake. When the small signs appear, receive them with gratitude, with the recognition that the program is working, with the decision to redouble your commitment to the practice because the evidence is already beginning to show. Gratitude is itself a form of subconscious programming. When you feel genuine gratitude for what is already present and for the evidence of what is coming, you are telling the subconscious that abundance is real, that it is here, that it is increasing. And the subconscious, faithful as always, grows more of what you are grateful for. Be grateful early. Be grateful often. Before the full harvest arrives, here is your 30-day program. Specific, practical, non-negotiable. Every morning before you check your phone, before you speak to anyone, before the outer world sets the tone for your day, spend 5 minutes with your wealth affirmations, not racing through them, moving through them slowly, feeling each one, letting each one settle before moving to the next. Infinite abundance is my natural state. My subconscious mind attracts wealth from every direction. I am open and receptive to all the wealth life offers me. Money flows to me freely and frequently. I use money wisely and it multiplies in my hands. 5 minutes every morning with full feeling. with genuine emotional engagement, not performance, real feeling. Then throughout the day, every time your mind drifts toward financial anxiety or scarcity thinking, catch it. One breath, one return to the feeling of abundance. Not a long practice, just a conscious redirection, a deliberate choice to plant something different in the 10 seconds your mind would otherwise spend in fear. And every evening in the last 10 minutes before sleep, the bedtime practice, slow, deliberate, feeling charged, carrying the impression of wealth and abundance into the threshold of sleep and letting it go deep. Do this for 30 days without exception, without impatience, without constantly checking the outer world for confirmation. The subconscious does not work on your timetable. It works on its own. But it works. Consistently, faithfully, precisely. Give it the right instructions for 30 days and then watch what it produces. Not with anxious eyes, scanning the horizon for proof, with the quiet confidence of a gardener who has planted good seeds in good soil and knows, without needing to dig them up to check, that they are growing. They are growing. Your subconscious mind has been running a program you did not write. A program written by other people, by early experiences, by a culture that treats scarcity as the default condition of ordinary life. A program that has been executing faithfully for years, producing a financial reality that matches its instructions with perfect accuracy. That program ends today, not because the outer world has changed, because you have decided to change the inner world, because you have chosen to go to the root rather than the surface, because you understand now that no strategy, no effort, no external intervention will produce lasting wealth until the subconscious program that runs beneath all of it is reprogrammed. And you know how to reprogram it now. The morning practice, the midday return, the evening planting, the feeling-charged affirmations that speak directly to the subconscious in the language it understands, the mental diet that feeds the new program daily, the gratitude that multiplies what is already growing. This is the work. Simple, specific, profound. Your subconscious is listening right now. It has always been listening. Every thought you think, every feeling you feel, every impression you allow to take root, it receives and grows. Give it something worth growing. Tell it that wealth is your natural state, that abundance flows to you from everywhere, that money is your friend, your tool, your faithful servant, that you are ready, that you are open, that you are grateful for what is already here and for the greater good that is on its way. Tell it that. Mean it. Feel it. Return to it every day. And then watch what your mind builds for you. It will not disappoint you. It never does when you give it the right instructions. Your wealth begins in your mind. It has always begun there. Now you know how to build it from the inside out. Start tonight.